Hey everyone, welcome to the renovation vlog 2. Today is 3 days before the renovations start. It's Friday. It's a long weekend here in Melbourne because we have the grand final footy tomorrow and we are getting everything sorted because the builders come on Monday to survey everything. Hey!
I just want to say, I feel like you need to explain the public holiday more because I feel like it's very, it's just kind of funny.
Okay, so in our state, Victoria, Australian football is the most popular in this state, and most of the games are held in this state. So our state solely, not the rest of the country, decided to bring in a public holiday the day before the grand final. So now the Friday before the grand final, everyone in our state gets a day off. But the other states, I guess, didn't want to do that as well because they weren't as keen. So yeah. How are the chows going? Hi guys. They're probably wondering what is going on. There's a lot of noise and moving of stuff. Hey Franny. How are you? Hi. Oh, boop. Boop. What's your father doing? What's Dad doing?
One of us is doing work at least.
Moving the dining chairs to the garage and they will be covered. And Bowser, how are you going, my love? How are you, my love? Little head scratch. Bowser being a little bit older, because Franny's only 11 months. He's a little bit more switched on. He's been through a couple of moves before. Oh, is that nice? So he's like, something is changing. Oh, good boy. So where are we up to with progress? Well,
Like
the coffee machine's gone, if you remember that.
it still looks just as messy.
I know, it really doesn't look that impressive yet, but all the pictures are off the fridge. The cupboards are mostly empty. I just put out a few essential saucepans over here. I want to keep our essentials handy, even though we're about to move to a rental house, which is already fully furnished. Just because over the next couple of days, we might want to cook something up. But I'm also packing the other saucepans and things into here. Saucepans on the floor. The pantry's just got a few essential items in here, like oats and snackies, vodka and whiskey. I actually use vodka to clean. We need to figure out what we're doing with that wine. Because it's red wine, I think it should still be okay. The rest of the pantry has been packed into these 2 boxes. Keeping in mind, because we're not actually moving house, we could be a bit more rough with our packing so they're not fully closed. Because they're just going into offices. This is pantry stuff we're taking to the other house. We're going to have to start moving this furniture. Basically, everything in this room has to be moved out because they're squaring off this archway so it won't be rounded anymore. That's right. And we're taking out that wall. There's going to be a heap of dust, so we could cover the couches, but it's much better if the workers have room to move and we don't have to worry about dust getting on all of our things. We're also dealing with this crazy cable management, which we haven't been happy with. That's going to be fed on the inside of this wall into this cabinet. And the TV is too high up, so it's going to be lowered down. That's been bothering James for a little while.
Doesn't it bother? I mean, look at it. The Apple TV just fell down and it's just there. To me, I could have fixed it.
I mean, it is a little high. It's too high.
It's only that high because the previous people had put like 20 million holes back there, so we just had to put it there.
Yeah, they just like checked for what is it called? A stud in the wall by drilling holes. They didn't use a stud finder, so there's just holes behind the TV. So that's going to be patched. So we did have these walls done a while ago. And we were never really happy with the finish because basically we got a flooring place to do it and there's little holes all through the walls here that is just from the nail gun. And I really wasn't happy with that. And then up here, because they're thicker than our cornice, they had to put a trim on top of it, and there's this really clunky gap in the middle that isn't lining up with this, and I just didn't like that. And then at the end here, it is really shoddy up in that corner, like they've just slapped it on, and it just doesn't look great. So we're gonna get this wall redone, and basically instead of plastering the wall, they're just gonna put a different kind of paneling straight onto the existing wall, and it won't stick out as much. And then they're going to place the cornice on top of it, so it'll just look a lot cleaner. And then we're also having this wall here, which is actually cork. As you can see, Franny has already done some demolition works. She's very good. Very good. So yeah, this is just cork that comes off. They're going to remove all of this and plaster it. And then it's wrapped around here as well, so it'll just be nicely finished. We can't get rid of this because this is actually part of the structure of the house. It's weight bearing, probably, so they're not gonna move that. Oh, and come with me to my office that is now the kitchen. My office now is full of boxes, fry pans, slow cookers, kitchen stuff. I've even got wine glasses up here that were too fragile for me to pack, and just random stuff put everywhere because this is going to be used as storage. And a little fun fact that James thought of, we've actually put door locks on the rooms that don't need to be used by the tradesmen. So these will be locked and we have keys to them. Makes us feel better because no one can wander in here, but it's also kind of good for the workers too, because if anything ever got stolen, they'd say, well, we didn't have access. So it's kind of good for both parties. Should we show your office, sure. James? James now has a coffee shop in his office. So that's good, boxes and things as well. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a temporary setup at the rental house, which should be interesting. We'll be sharing. She's a blossom baby, boop. So I'll just keep packing this up. Again, I'm not really being too pedantic with how these are being wrapped, just enough so they don't scratch on each other because they're just going in the office. And we'll also be putting the dining chairs away, and then we'll start.
The dining chair's already gone.
Oh my gosh, we need to cover them. So I'll check back in with you guys shortly. James, I would like to explain something to you and the audience. So I've made a box for essentials, and this is all the stuff that we've left out that we're using that's minimal. A couple of bowls, glasses, essential fry pans. Now the great thing about this is that means we have the necessities we need for the next couple of days, but also when we move back into the house, we'll be able to open one box, unpack one box, and have everything we need.
Wow.
And that's why you have an essentials box. Thank you for my TED Talk. So out here I've been putting my pot plants because they need sunlight and all the rooms are going to have the curtains closed, and then I don't want them in the way of the tradesmen. So I put them out here. I was thinking, this could be a bad idea because I don't really know how these will go outside. And Miss Frangipani decided to do some gardening and ripped out my plants. So I'm gonna see if I can salvage one piece of it. I think the other pieces come off. Naughty girl. We're having a little tea break, and I'm going to show you guys how I make my matcha tea. I really enjoy matcha powder tea because it gives you energy like coffee does, like it's caffeinated, but it doesn't give you the anxiety jitters that you might get from drinking coffee. I could actually take a nap after drinking matcha sometimes if I'm tired enough, whereas I could never do that on coffee. And I really like the fact that it feels a little bit more like a relaxing ritual when you drink matcha. Just the process of how you do it in a traditional way is a really nice process. To make it, I have this bamboo whisk, and I also have this bamboo scoop. Franny, push. We're trying to teach Franny the dog door. She knows how to use it. Push. She can do it herself, but she still wants you to push her through, or at least come to her. Like, she hasn't quite realized that she can just do it herself, and then she doesn't come back through it. We're not too like worried about teaching her because soon there'll be a new door there and a new dog door that she'll have to learn anyway. So I got some new matcha powder that I'm very excited about. This is pretty extreme because I actually ordered it from Japan, Kyoto. It's called D Matcha Kyoto. And this, you guys, I didn't realize the shipping would be so expensive. So next time I would order in bulk. But this is the good stuff. It kind of has a grassy, earthy taste, fresh. It's interesting. Now this one I bought locally, and you can see that it's got like a Japanese style of label, but nowhere it confirms that it's actually made in Japan. I mean, it's fine, but it's a little misleading. I've heard that the better the matcha, the more intense the green color of it is. So I want to show you guys something. Look at the difference in the colors. This is the one that doesn't taste particularly good that I got here in Australia. This is the one from Kyoto, Japan, and I think it might be to do with how much time it has to be oxidized, like how much time it's exposed to the air, although I'm not entirely sure about that, so pretty cool. So now we can relax amongst the chaos. I think we're on track though. Like, I feel like we're definitely going to have everything in order to move on Sunday night, or at least for the most part. I suppose I need to pack some clothes. That's probably something I need to do. Pack up toiletry, clothes, chow stuff. Those chows, they do not travel light. We've got puzzles, leads, harnesses, raincoats, dog bowls, food bowls. The other thing that's really nice about matcha is, you know, when you drink coffee, there's kind of like a coffee spike of energy, and then sometimes you can have a coffee crash, and then you're like, oh, I need another coffee now. But with the matcha, I think the caffeine release is slower, so your energy is more level throughout the day. So I usually have an espresso in the morning, or like one shot of coffee in the morning, and a matcha, and that's a really good balance for me. I have the matcha a few hours later, like around midday. But I will be honest, lately I've been having a bit more coffee because there's been so much to do. But I don't like drinking too much because I get a bit jittery and impatient and maybe a bit more anxious. So it's not good for me to have too much. I remember when I was younger, I used to have like 2 long blacks sometimes in the morning, which is crazy. That's like 4 espresso shots. If I had that now, I'd be bouncing off the walls. The other nice thing about where I got the matcha is they also have a few treats and sweets. These are matcha snowball cookies made with rice flour. Oh, Franny wants to come in. Welcome, good girl. So this is what it looks like. It's just like a little matcha rice treat. Franny was not interested in that. It's pretty good. Not bad. Different to like sweets that you're used to, different texture, but still yummy.
Good job, Giles.
Good job, Giles.
Pivot.
Pivot.
Hey guys, it is the next day and James is currently unscrewing the dining table. 1, because we need to move it, and 2, I'm actually having it sanded back and re-varnished. So this table has yellowed over the years. It's almost 30 years old, maybe 25, 27 years old. And that's normal with an oil-based varnish to yellow, and you can see it doesn't really match our flooring very well. And the original color is lighter. So I'm gonna have it sanded back. And it's actually the family heirloom. My mum had it made when we were kids. So many memories on this table, different dinners and all sorts of things. So I'm really excited to maintain it. And luckily it's a very thick table. Mum had it made nice and thick, keeping in mind that it would one day be sanded back. Hey James.
Hi.
Pantry's packed away. How's Mr. Bowser going? Good? Oh, boop. Bowser's been very good. He's very good with change, happening and noise and all of that. He just chills on his bed. As long as he's got his own personal routine, he's happy. For Franny, this is all new. So it's gonna be a bit of a learning curve for her, but we'll all be together, so that'll be good. Let's go outside because I have something to show you guys. Paint swatches, yay. So as you may know, oh my God, I really need to take down that lavender that's been drying for a year and is covered in cobwebs. Okay, so some of you guys already know we're having the house repainted as well, and it just so happens we could book the painter on the same day the renovation begins. It just so happens it's lined up like that, which is amazing. And this house is a dark color called Monument. It's very common. Franny's looking at my paint swatches over there. Franny. No. Yes, good girl. Very good. So we're changing it from dark to a lighter color for personal taste, but also this house isn't very well insulated like many homes in Australia. And the darker color in summer probably doesn't help with that because it heats it up more quickly. And seeming as though we're not in a snowy climate, it never gets like that cold. So yeah, we started off with these colors, realized they were a bit dark for our liking. And now we think we're going with this one because it's called Hog Bristle Quarter. And it's a bit hard to show you guys on camera, but in real life it's actually a warm off-white. So it's not going to be stark blue white like the one down here. It's a more slightly creamy natural look. This one, Surf underneath, we quite liked Surf Mist. And look who it is, here to see the colors. And anyway, what I was getting to is because we have this big white wall here, if the house is white and that's white, that's really a lot. One day we want to cover this maybe in timber, but for now we thought we'd paint this another color to break it up a bit. Oh, she's a blossom baby. All the blossoms from the trees. You know, she was trying to eat a bee on the ground.
Yeah.
So I took her away from it. Anyway, do you have any thoughts on which one you like best?
I like paperback or green.
So James likes this one and this one. They look darker on camera than they are in real life. I wonder if I can get you guys the true color. It's actually like a lightish green, and I love the idea of the green contrasting to the white flowers. Thanks, James. So paperback or green. And then keeping in mind the rest of our fence is Monument, and we're not painting all of that. So I guess the green doesn't go flawlessly with the Monument, but at the same time, it doesn't look bad. What do you think, Fran? Do you think the green or the paperback? She's not so sure. Boop. You're not sure? Yeah. And then I did paint some of the colors down here to see what it looks like in the darker area, because I was like, oh, maybe the green will be too dark. It's so annoying. It looks so much darker on camera than it is. It's like 5 shades lighter in real life. Oh, and that's the other thing, because our tiles are blue, the green doesn't really go. So originally I was thinking this blue color. I mean, probably the sensible thing to do would be like go a beige, a neutral. But the green's fun, and I kind of want to have fun with this. So I think we will go the green, because James is happy with the green, or the paperback. So green it is. Let's just live a little and have fun. Add a bit of color to our lives. Also, just to note, it is a stunning day today. 20 degrees, breeze, grand final day. So good. Kind of wish we weren't moving. But here's an update on the garden. Nothing too crazy at the moment. Franny. Good girl. So I have lots of lettuce in here growing. That's a very long coriander. I think that's actually bolted, so it might need to be pulled out, I'm not sure. Some more coriander down here. Some spinach or chard. Franny was digging a hole. Don't know where she was digging to, but we've put this gate around here for the time being. Rhubarb, always one of my favorites. Never eat the leaves, use the stems. Stew them like stewing apples. Add a bit of maple syrup, absolutely delicious with yogurt, or you can make a rhubarb crumble. Strawberries haven't really been blooming in there. This is looking a bit sad. I need more soil in here, but I do see some tomato plants growing here. I planted tomatoes here last year, So it's pretty cool that there's more growing. And I did sprinkle a few more seeds to see if they'll take off. The herb box is going really well. We have oregano, beautiful rosemary, parsley, continental and curly is another one, some chard, and just over there is actually chives. This one's kind of empty. It actually does have lettuce seeds in here. When you're growing lettuce, you want to plant them like a few weeks apart or a month apart because they always get to a point, at least in Australia climate, where they bolt. So it's nice to have another box ready for when the other ones bolt. So you always have lots of lettuce growing. And because that's the main thing I eat from my garden, I love lettuce from the garden. I'm gonna have to come here and wash things what am I talking about? I'm gonna have to water things every week or maybe some days when it's hot. James is doing his washing on the line. We love this. So we do have a bit of lettuce in here, and then this actually a form of spinach that has bolted. So I need to rip those out. And the reason why bolting is not good is it basically just means the plant won't taste as nice. It kind of becomes bitter and you can't really control it again unless you're quite a skilled gardener. It can also bolt into flowering too, where it makes more seeds from itself. So I prefer to just pull them out and make room for other things. Although some people like to leave it for flowering and then they collect the seeds. And then this is my big chard plant. So this is like good for steamed greens. You can eat it raw as well, but I prefer these leaves like cooked into a pasta sauce. But the stems are really nice sliced up, kind of like celery to put in salads. They've got a really nice crunch to them. And this garden is actually where my peppers or capsicums are planted, but they're not in season yet. So we have some chilies and stuff that will grow as it gets warmer. This one's doing a little bit better. Oh, this is really sweet.
Look at the landmine, see how many we've got.
No.
That's the job we're gonna do.
Oh yeah, we've got to pick up Franny's poo-poos. Bowser like never poos in the yard. He refuses to poo in the yard. Even when he's sick, he refuses to. So we've always had no poo in the yard, but then when Franny came along, she poos in the yard every single morning. She loves a poo here. So now we have to clean up the poo. So yeah, I don't know if you're interested in that story, but we actually do have a pretty good system that James installed. I think this was off Amazon, but this is bin bags that are attached to the wall. You can fit a fair few in, and then it's magnetic. So that's good. And then over there, I don't want to go near it, but that's the poo-poo bin. Just so you guys can see it in case you want to get the same one, dog poop. So yeah, I think I'll finish off this part of the vlog here. The next part, yeah, we'll be moving into the new house. And then maybe some renovation demolition will begin. Yeah. You don't have enough black shirts, I don't think.
I have enough black underwear though.
Yes. Well, Franny, we're going to finish the vlog now. Is there anything you would like to say to your fans? Well, she didn't have anything to add, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Subscribe if you'd like to see the renovations come along. Yeah, thanks for your support. And as always, I hope you're having a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world, and I can't wait to speak to you all soon. Dag dag!